instead of a 5. And you've actually been able to add a little bit more detail. Now if this is an A here, what you do is you drop down. Now you have to just hit the 3rd string down and the 4th string down to get your D though. And that's the sound right there. You do not want to add the last 2 after that. Now you can add the D, the open D, and your D there. Okay? And what you get is this. So if you take the A, which is the whole thing, and you go. Now here's the resolve up to the E. But it's really, it's a full E, you don't want to hit that, so you can't hit down on this D string. You've got to hit just the first 3 strings here. And you're basically, again, running off of this A, the same exact pattern that you did these last 2 times. Here's your root, 2nd string down is what you're running your pattern off of each time, up to your E. Let's play it together. Feels good, doesn't it? And now you've just learned a basic song that you can use pretty much, put a little distortion on your guitar if you have an electric, and you're playing rock and roll. One of the other things that I want to get into while we're doing some of that is learn your inside chords. Again, go back to that neck chart that we made and take a look at your chords and say, okay, well, I know how I can move my E up the neck. I know how I can move the A up the neck and play every single chord all the way up to the 12th. But you know, we can also do that with the D chord. And the reason I've saved that for now is because most of what you do up the neck with the D chord is going to be used for more lead type of stuff or augmentation to some of this rock stuff. For instance, here's a D chord. If you remove the middle finger from your D chord, you get a D2. Now the D chord can be moved up the neck as long as you play only from the D up, right here, keeping the D as your bass, right back up to a D up here. In other words, this is an A chord. So we've just now found out there's another way to play an A chord. Here's a G, here's an F, here's an E, and here's a D. Now we can, again, I always encourage exercise in the pinky, whether you use it or not. If you add that bass note up here, okay, so on a D, what you're going to be adding is the F sharp, okay? You get the full D chord. And again, it just gives you a little bit of structure. Another way that they do that really popular today is with your thumb. And they add it right there. And they may do that as you're writing into a G chord. For instance, let me show you. And that's without using your thumb. Just lift your finger up. Or you can use the thumb. Again, depends on the size of your hand and the comfort in playing. There's different ways to do it. And you're going to attack those different ways with your pick hand in what string you use as your root. Another thing you do with the D chord is you have to remember that you go up here. It's all off your D chord. And there's an A. Move the F up. There's an A. So all those chords can be moved up the neck. F, G, A. Here's an A minor. All A minors. Get used to how you can use your different chords. But you do something like this where you got... You can see that. Right back to your A. So get used to those inside chords of what you can do. Don't be afraid of coming in and just playing one or two strings to get the effect that you want. And then make sure with this hand here that you're just hitting those 2 or 3 strings and not strumming the whole guitar. We'll catch you next time, and we'll take you deeper. In God's name, God's peace.